Welcome to the Bravo Charlie Club podcast, making you 12 and a half minutes more awesome each week. He's Ben. I'm Richard. Let's go. Ben, how are you this week?
I'm really well, mate. Hey, did our intro music sound better?
I think it's got a bit more fidelity. It sounds
Let's talk about that.
better.
Let's talk about that in a sec.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
new listener country call out this week. Botswana have joined us. Now, the official language is Setswana in Botswana. That seems like a topic for another day. So, Dumela is hello to one person, or Dumaleng when you're greeting a group of people. So, welcome to our Botswanan friends. Fully Awake project, mate. We have just moved from one, podcasting platform to a new one, which was why I mentioned that I thought our music sounded better. We've moved from Zencastr over to Riverside. Now, you've been the main protagonist, being the IT, geek in the duo. You've sort of been in charge of that. What's it been like? Like, has it been tricky?
It's interesting actually making it the platform transition, particularly when we had about 60 episodes, right? So that there was a sort of a migration step that we had to do in there, and then there's rehooking up everything. We were using Buzzsprout for distribution before, and now we're sort of moving all that back into Riverside as well. So yeah, I think there's a couple of different systems there and different things. There's a bit less distribution on Riverside than Buzzsprout, because Buzzsprout is a purpose-built distribution sort of platform. But by and large, it's gone pretty well, actually.
So on that, so our distribution channels, the big ones, obviously Spotify and Apple and YouTube. Our listeners clearly would be listening to us there because that's what's being distributed through Riverside. But there were so many minor ones that you probably wouldn't have thought of that Buzzsprout reached as well. So I hope we don't lose some listeners as we make this transition across, and hopefully they can still find us. Because as you know, Buzzsprout give you that sort of that 90 days to get out of Dodge, and so people will still be finding us in Buzzsprout, and then it'll just fall off into the ether. So
that's right.
Would you do it again? Do you think it's been worth the effort?
I think the thing is that Zencastr is really great to get started with, because there's not a whole lot of knobs and dials you can twiddle, which means it's kind of great for starting out, right? There's not too much variability there. The editing on Zencastr is super easy. Like a lot of platforms these days that do podcasting and other sorts of in-person spoken kind of things, they have an editing process which is really simple. It takes a transcript, kind of like timestamps each word in the transcript back to a slice of video, and then when you want to go through and do edits afterwards, you just edit the transcript, right? And it just cuts those sections out of the video and your audio. And that makes things super easy. Like, I think one of the big things that I was apprehensive about starting podcasting was how much time the editing would take off the back. If you've ever gone into iMovie or GarageBand or and tried to edit something, you kind of get that eye twitch, right? Because you tried to edit that 15 minutes of footage you took at the kids' dance recital, and then 2 hours later you're in a cold sweat and you haven't really got anything that's usable. So I didn't want that experience. When we started
we're pretty
out.
Professional, though. There's not a lot of editing required.
Very professional. But there's some things that Riverside does much better on the editing side. Like, for example, you can edit each person in a conversation separately. You've kind of got each channel for each participant, and you can edit those separately. With Zencastr, you've just kind of got one merge channel. So if I cough while you're speaking, the only way to take that cough out of the edit is to edit out what you're saying as well as my cough. But like in Riverside, you've kind of got separate channels that you can edit independently, which is kind of nice, and it all just sort of time syncs out properly. Also, adding music at the start and the end is much easier. So I think the editing process is a lot more polished
Good.
in Riverside.
Good. Well, hopefully it translates into a better experience for our listeners. Speaking of which, let's dive into travel tips, mate. I've been thinking about this one. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this before, but if you don't have a points earning credit card, I just think it's a mistake. I'm not encouraging people to spend money that they wouldn't normally spend, but we all have groceries and fuel bills and things, and I just think that you should be getting the free holiday at the end of that. And the rules are changing in Australia soon with some of these sign-up bonuses that we've seen. They'll drop off until financial institutions work out a new way to take advantage of us. So grab one of those sign-up bonuses now while you can, and get a good points earning card. And again, don't overspend. Not encouraging that at all, but I just feel like it's a miss if you're not getting a monthly credit into your frequent flyer account from your bank. And on that, I think letting points expire is a massive mistake. Do you have points expire on you at all?
I don't know if that's ever happened. I mean, maybe.
So I think
I've
the
got
thing
a pretty
to
simple
know,
setup though. Really. So I mean, I just have Amex.
Yeah. I think Amex is
Amex.
good because you can hold your points in Amex and then just transfer them to the
they don't
brand
expire there.
that you need to use. Yeah, but the frequent flyer programs all have some form of expiry, and you have to keep your account active. And it can be as simple. I don't fly Qantas very often, but even linking your Uber to them, as long as you earn some points, your account remains active. So, whereas Singapore Airlines, they specifically, if you earned some points today, in 2 years' time they expire. That's the rule. And so, if that was coming up, I would transfer any Singapore Airlines points to Velocity as an example to keep them alive. So yeah, don't let points expire, folks. If you need any help, write in. We can direct you in that way.
Points department.
Hey, no listener feedback this week, mate. Again, we've got that perfect record that we've maintained. So I thought in the weeks that we don't have listener feedback, we could do a business speak of the week section, just to add a bit of colour. And the first business speak I want to talk about is the deep dive. When someone says they're doing a deep dive, what does that actually mean?
I think the meaning of deep dive, or perhaps maybe the process of deep diving, if that's if it's a thing, has changed thanks to AI. Like, I think a bit of a deep dive might be a bit of a prospective exploratory work, right, on some topic or something that's perhaps maybe got a bit of friction in the organisation. You think we could probably do this better. There's always something that you can do better, but there's going to be some points that are more friction than others. But I think things like, I think the AI piece makes doing deep dives almost too easy.
I think you're right.
In a sense, like it looks like it's thorough and it looks like it's well researched because of the way they write so persuasively, but really easy to get the context wrong and miss subtle details that are sort of important in context. So yeah,
I just feel like when someone says that they've deep dived, like a dive for me is like the first page of Google research, and I think a deep dive means they may have made it to the second page.
They read 3 websites.
Yeah. They've implied that they've had a seriously strenuous feat of athletic prowess, like doing a double backflip with a pirouette. And I'm like, no, a deep dive is not putting a question into AI and printing out a 90-page PDF for me to farm my way through. I don't think
you can't deep dive, though, in under a week. That's just normal research.
Yeah.
if you're under a week, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's like Eddie Murphy going deep undercover. you need a few months and some flash money. Okay, all
Exactly.
right. Well, let's see if this segment lands. I do like the idea of discussing some of these topics, but let's move on to our more formal one, the conundrum of the week. Now, you know when you get that calendar link from the salesperson or in their email saying, "Hey, click here to set up a meeting." You know, Calendly is the one that comes to mind. How they come up with that. Have you ever clicked on one of those links? Like, go, yeah, I would love to set up a meeting with a salesperson and hear what they have to say.
Jump on a quick call.
Do you ever click those links?
There must be something set up inside Gmail that lets those calendar invites go through or act more permissively than normal spam, because I'm getting more calendar invite spam than normal spam that's actually making it through to my inbox. So, like, you know, external, not inside the company, not intra company stuff, but I'm getting heaps. I would get 4, 5, maybe 6 a day coming through, different vendors.
Yeah, right.
You know, salespeople reaching out. Hey, Nathan.
Yeah.
How about we discuss this? Or like, oh, we're good friends.
Yeah, they haven't done a deep dive on what your name is.
How did that even work? Yeah.
Oh, goodness me. I clicked once just because I wanted to see what it actually was. And it's sort of like it mirrors their calendar and shows you all these gaps, you know, of where you could pick up a 15-minute slot. And
Yeah.
I get it. I think it's interesting technology, but if someone's selling to me, they need to do the work. I'm not going to click on a link and make it easy for them to set up a call with me. I find it very interesting psychology. I feel like it's just the invites I'm getting are just from someone who's just changed a job, and they need to be seen as being prospecting.
You're the new sales outreach guy. Oh my God, I've got to do 100 pieces of outreach a day or something.
How long after starting a new job do you wait before you send LinkedIn requests?
Oh, I'm really not very good at that.
I reckon
the
the
average up on the end of the job that I start sending LinkedIn requests.
I reckon the average wait time for a prospecting role is like 7 minutes. And I've started this role. And so you call on, oh yeah, please talk me through your role. And they're like, oh, actually, I've just started. And I'm like, okay, well, you got nothing to say then, right? Hey, speaking of nothing to say, Richard, that's it. Listeners have been BCC'd on our week. To our listeners, thanks for joining us. Head on over to bravocharlie.club if you want to get in touch. We do always love hearing from you with our listener feedback, so please send some in. Hey, in next week's show, we're going to solve the great plastics cupboard conundrum. See you next week. Bravo Charlie Club out.